Hey there, everyone! Welcome back to Summary in 15 Minutes, your go-to channel for diving deep into life-changing books in just a quick, digestible format. I'm thrilled to have you here today as we unpack a powerful book that's all about transforming your life through the magic of a positive mental attitude. If you've ever wondered how to break free from self-doubt, conquer fear, or skyrocket your motivation to chase your biggest dreams, this summary is for you. Stick with me until the end, because I'm sharing practical tips and inspiring stories that'll show you how to flip your mindset and unlock a world of possibilities. Let's get started. So, what's the big idea here? This book, written by the legendary Napoleon Hill, is a roadmap to success, and at its heart is one core principle: your attitude shapes your reality. A positive mental attitude, or PMA as we'll call it, can be the difference between staying stuck and soaring to new heights. Whether you're aiming to level up your career, improve your relationships, or just find more joy in everyday life, PMA is the key that unlocks the door. And don't worry, this isn't just fluffy motivational talk. Hill backs it up with real-life stories of people who turned their lives around by choosing positivity over negativity. Let's dive into one of those stories now. Picture this: a young boy named Samuel growing up in a small, struggling town in the South. Samuel's family worked hard on their farm, but money was tight, and the people around him believed poverty was just their fate. "It's how things are," they'd say. But Samuel's mother? She saw something different. She told him, "Son, we're not poor because it's meant to be. We're poor because no one in our family has dared to dream bigger." Those words lit a fire in Samuel. He decided he wanted to build wealth, and he believed selling was the way to do it. So, at just 17, he started selling homemade candles door to door. For years, he worked tirelessly, saving every penny. Then, a big opportunity came. The candle supplier he worked with was selling their business for $200,000. Samuel had saved $30,000, not nearly enough. But did he give up? Nope. With only 10 days to raise the rest, Samuel leaned on his network. He'd spent years building trust with local shop owners, and they believed in his vision. He pitched his dream to them, and one by one they chipped in. $50,000 here, $20,000 there. Still, he was $10,000 short. On the final night, Samuel drove through town, determined to find a solution. He spotted a light in a small office and walked in to meet a local investor. With confidence and a clear plan, he said, "Lend me $10,000 and I'll turn it into $12,000 for you in a year." The investor saw Samuel's passion and handed him a check. The next day, Samuel bought the company. Today, his business is a household name. What was his secret? A crystal-clear goal and an unshakable positive mental attitude that kept him moving forward no matter the odds. Here's the thing: we all have a choice. Hill describes it like a coin with two sides. One side is PMA, positive mental attitude. The other is NMA, negative mental attitude. Every day, you get to decide which side to flip. Choose PMA, and you're setting yourself up for success. Choose NMA, and you're letting fear, doubt, and excuses hold you back. It's like wearing a talisman with incredible power. The question is, which side are you going to wear facing out? Let's talk about another inspiring figure: Clara, a young woman who grew up in a rough neighborhood. Clara was shy, often bullied, and struggled with confidence. Her family could barely afford the basics, and she spent her childhood scavenging for scraps to help make ends meet. One day, Clara stumbled across a library book filled with stories of brave heroes who overcame impossible odds. Those stories sparked something in her. She started to see herself as the hero of her own story. A few months later, when bullies cornered her, Clara didn't run. She stood tall, looked them in the eye, and said, "I'm not afraid of you." To her surprise, they backed off. That moment changed everything. Clara carried that confidence into adulthood. She studied hard, earned a scholarship, and became a lawyer who fought for the underdog. Eventually, she was appointed a judge, known for her fairness and courage. What made Clara's transformation possible? She chose to fill her mind with positive ideas and refused to let fear define her. You can do the same. Maybe you're facing challenges right now, money troubles, tough relationships, or just a bad day. The good news? You have the power to change how you respond. Show a little compassion, stay calm, and approach the situation with positivity. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Now, let's pause for a second. Have you ever noticed how a single positive action can shift everything? Maybe you smiled at a stranger and they smiled back. Or you helped a coworker and it sparked a great idea. That's the ripple effect of PMA. When you choose positivity, you attract good things, opportunities, connections, even solutions to problems you thought were unsolvable. So, here's a quick challenge for you. The next time you're in a tough spot, take a deep breath and ask yourself, how can I approach this with a positive mindset? Try it, and you might be amazed at what happens. Let's explore another story, this time about a man named Thomas who faced a life-or-death situation. Thomas was a middle-aged father who suffered a massive heart attack. Rushed to the hospital, he fell into a coma. For hours, doctors worked to save him, but there was no sign of improvement. 2 nurses stood by his bed, whispering to each other. Thomas couldn't move or speak, but he could hear them. One said, "I don't think he's breathing." The other replied, "I don't hear anything." Panic set in. Thomas was trapped in his own body, unable to signal he was alive. In that moment, Thomas remembered a story he'd read about the power of self-belief. It said, "If you believe you can do something with all your heart, you'll find a way." Desperate, Thomas focused every ounce of energy on opening his eyes. At first, nothing happened. He tried again, silently commanding, "Open your eyes!" Suddenly, a nurse gasped, "I saw his eyelid move!" Thomas kept pushing, and soon both eyes opened. The nurses called the doctor, and Thomas was brought back from the brink. His recovery was a miracle, but it started with a single positive thought. Your mind is a powerhouse, my friends. Fill it with hope, and it can move mountains. Hill explains that our minds have 2 parts, the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious mind makes decisions, but the subconscious? It's like a hidden engine, driving your actions based on what you feed it. Want to achieve big goals? Write them down, clearly, specifically. For example, instead of saying, "I want to be rich," write, "I will earn $1 million by 2030 through my tech startup." Read it every day with total belief. This programs your subconscious to spot opportunities and take action. It's like planting a seed that grows into reality. Let's talk about turning problems into opportunities. Back in the 1930s, a Chicago neighborhood was in trouble. The real estate market had crashed, and 90% of office buildings stood empty. Most managers gave up, blaming the economy. But one manager, Elena, saw things differently. She believed every problem hides a chance to shine. Elena set a bold goal: fill her building with tenants within a year. She offered a deal: rent an office for 12 months, and if tenants weren't happy, they could leave with no penalty. She also spruced up the offices with modern designs, knowing businesses wanted fresh, inspiring spaces. Word spread, and soon every office in her building was rented, while others stayed vacant. Elena's secret? She didn't complain. She acted, with a positive mental attitude. We all face problems, don't we? Maybe it's a tough boss, a tight budget, or a personal setback. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they respond. Next time you hit a roadblock, ask yourself, what's the opportunity here? Maybe it's a chance to learn, innovate, or grow stronger. Reframe the challenge, and you'll find a way forward. Now, let's meet Maya, a young girl born blind due to a rare condition. Her parents refused to let her feel limited. They taught her to navigate the world with confidence, describing colors, shapes, and sounds so vividly that Maya felt she could see through their words. By age 6, she was running, playing, and exploring like any other kid. One day, a friend tossed a ball at her, yelling, "Catch it!" Maya didn't, and for the first time she realized she was different. Her mother sat her down and said, "Maya, you have 5 senses: like 5 fingers. One of yours, sight, doesn't work, but the other 4 are extraordinary. You don't need all 5 to live a full life. Those words became Maya's mantra. In high school, Maya learned about a risky surgery that could restore her vision. Despite the odds, she went for it, fueled by her positive mindset. The surgery worked, and when Maya saw her mother's face for the first time, it was a moment of pure joy. Maya's story reminds us that we see with our minds, not just our eyes. Feed your brain positive messages, and you'll find beauty and opportunity everywhere. Let's shift gears to action. Hill emphasizes the power of doing things, now. Meet Liam, a college student in Europe who worked as a tour guide. One summer, a group of tourists was so impressed with him that they invited him to visit the U.S., covering his trip to Washington, D.C. Excited, Liam arrived at his hotel, only to realize his bag, with his passport and wallet, was gone. He had just $5 in his pocket. Most people would panic, but Liam chose differently. He thought, I have one day in this incredible city. I'm not wasting it. With his $5, he bought a snack and explored on foot, visiting landmarks like the Lincoln Memorial and the Capitol. He soaked in every moment, turning a stressful situation into an adventure. A week later, the police found his bag, and Liam returned home with a story he'd never forget. His secret? Acting with positivity instead of dwelling on what went wrong. So, how do you stay motivated day after day? Hill says it starts with hope. Take a moment every morning to reflect on your progress. Maybe you finished a project, helped a friend, or took a small step toward your goal. Celebrate those wins, no matter how small. They fuel your drive. And when it comes to motivating others, think about Napoleon Hill's own story. As a kid, he was labeled trouble by his father. But his stepmother saw something else. She told him, "You're not bad. You're smart and capable. We just need to bring that out." Her belief changed Hill's life. You can do the same for others. Show trust, offer encouragement, and share stories of people who overcame obstacles. It's like planting seeds of confidence. Let's talk wealth for a moment. Meet Raj, a man who spent months in the hospital after an injury. While recovering, he read Think and Grow Rich and had an epiphany. He could start a business selling packaging materials to local shops. Raj noticed that laundry stores used plain cardboard inserts for shirts. He had an idea: print ads on one side and fun puzzles on the other. Shops loved it, and so did customers. Raj's business took off, not because he had money or connections, but because he read, planned, and acted with a positive mindset. Reading self-help books like Raj did can spark ideas and keep you focused. Write down your goals, read them daily, and let your subconscious guide you to success. Finally, let's touch on giving. A wealthy CEO named Anita once met a charity worker asking for a donation. Annoyed, she brushed him off. But the worker smiled and said, "That's okay. I just want to give you a blessing. May you find peace." Those words haunted Anita. Days later, she visited the charity and donated $1 million anonymously. She didn't want fame, she wanted to make a difference. Giving, whether it's money, time, or kindness, brings a joy that nothing else can. The more you give, the more you receive, not just in wealth, but in happiness. So here's the big takeaway. A positive mental attitude can change everything. Clear out negative thoughts like fear, anger, or doubt. Replace them with courage, compassion, and belief in yourself. See failure as a stepping stone, not a dead end. Set clear goals, act now, and give generously. You're the captain of your thoughts, and every choice you make shapes your future. Before you ask for more, whether it's a raise, a promotion, or a new opportunity, ask yourself, am I adding value? Am I giving my best? Focus on lifting others up, and you'll rise too. Thanks for sticking with me to the end, friends. I hope this summary has fired you up to embrace a positive mental attitude and take action toward your dreams. If you found this helpful, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you never miss a summary. Drop a comment below and tell me one positive change you're going to make today. I can't wait to hear about it. Your attitude is your superpower, and the journey to success starts with a single step. I'll see you in the next video. Keep shining!